Hello, this is Linda Bell with Park University. I want to show you how to set up assignments and use your gradebook in WileyPlus for accounting courses. So here's my principles of financial accounting, but it would be the same whether this was intermediate accounting as well. You want to click on modules. An easy way to access WileyPlus is just to use this link, although you'll find links if I were to click on Unit 1 Overview, there would be a link there as well. But the fastest one is just to click on this. For some reason, we have two links to click on, but then it will open up and bring us to the WileyPlus homepage. Major features that you will use and you want to share with students is this Read, Study, and Practice that has the ebook and a lot of other study tools for students. I'll get back and show that to you in just a little bit. Also assignments and gradebook. So these are the main three things that you're going to be using. And if you do need technical support, you can see over here, you can click here for that. But I'll also be showing how, as instructors, we actually have a phone number we can use instead of this chat sort of thing or searching for information as well. But obviously your first choice option would be to try to find it yourself, and if you can't, then I've got a phone number that you can use. Well, let's look at how to set up assignments. So I'm going to click on assignments. I've already made assignments, so for my 201 classes this fall, I've already got those laid out in my assignments, and we can see they're active, and you can see I have two sections, so there's always going to be two, and I've already made all the assignments and all the way through. And we've already finished chapter 1, so we can see it's listed as past due. But if I wanted to make a new assignment, I would click on Assignment Bank. Now this is going to list all possible assignments in the assignment bank, including other instructors are the ones that I have created for the course as Park Admin. Assignments Wiley has created in these other quick start. So we want to filter out these two so that only we're going to look at assignments created by instructors from Park and we'll apply the filter. Now they'll show up in a hodgepodge of order, so let's sort those. I usually like to go by chapter order. Now, so we can see chapter 1 assignment and the instructor is Park Admin. That is the one you should be assigning. So, and that. Now, I can't assign it because I already have. I can modify and use copy. Please, absolutely do not click on these over here. You should be assigning original. So let's go. Well, first off, let me just talk a little bit. What we should be seeing here is Chapter 1 assignment, Chapter 2 assignment, Chapter 3 assignment, Chapter 4 assignment. So part of this recording is to show you, if you do click on Modify and Use Copy, how that creates new assignments, and everybody is seeing all of those. So all of these are copies, actually should not be here. We are in the first week of courses. There ought to only be about 40 assignments in here from Park Admin, and we've already doubled it. So if we don't stop doing that, I don't know, we'll probably have 500 assignments in here by the end of the term, where there only ought to be 40. So that is being problematic, and so I hope those of you that are doing that will delete those and stop doing that. And that's part of the reason for this recording, to show you what to do. So do not make copies and do not modify, just make the assignment. And if for some reason you don't want students to do part of it, then you're just going to have to tell them, or if you're working it in class, then work it together in class and then omit it some other way. Okay, so Chapter 1 assignment should be Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, etc., etc. I'm going to go down. I need to go up. Chapter 12 assignment, because Chapter 12 is not in Accounting 201. So if I wanted to assign Chapter 12 assignment, I would click on Assign Original. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to set the date. So let's set this where my students won't freak out. December 25th is up. I have two sections. Oh, I guess I could have done select all. And so due date, that, like December 25th. And let's also set this late so they don't freak out. Okay, so I'm going to start on December 24th. It'll end on December 25th. Obviously that's ridiculous, but I don't want my students seeing that. It will be graded. I don't allow students to submit it late. We'll talk in a little bit if there's a reason for them to not have their homework done on time. You can extend the due date for individual students. Students can view the assignments and assistance after due date. You want to select that because if they don't get their homework done or they don't get it all done correctly, this assistance after due date shows them the answers. And so that's real helpful. Okay, we also want to leave this automatic submit when it's due. So if they've worked on it, it will submit it for them. You also need to notice what I just did. I clicked on show. I'm not sure why Wiley did this, but we do want to allow printing for the normal assignments. And then I would click assign here, and then it would assign it. I don't want to do that because I don't really want to assign this. That's for the regular homework assignments. Okay, now let's go back uh, to assignments. And I'll show you also the setup for exams. Let's see, let me go back to home. Uh, all right, and get in assignments. And if I want to, let's say I want to assign, I haven't assigned this exam yet. Let's go in and do that. So assign exam number 1. I'm going to select all my sections, and I don't really want to assign this. So let's put a weird date on it. Okay, and same thing, I'm going to let students see it after the due date, but this time I do want to set a time limit, and for the online, I usually, give them 75 or 90 minutes. You can look at the exam, but I have found it actually takes students longer to take a test online than in class, because in class they can just start writing on, if they writing on the paper. In the online environment, they kind of have to copy some things down onto paper when they're working through it. We also want to hide the question titles from students when we're doing this, and then I would assign it as well. Okay, and by the way, on test, I didn't talk about it here, but if you do want to, I guess it probably mostly pertains to Parkville, but I do limit. I usually just give a 2-hour time frame for students to take their tests. Just during the normal class period time, I have them take the test. Okay, so let's move on to something else now. So let's go back. Couple other things on the assignments in regards to that. If you want to preview it, you can click on this button, and if I want to look at the properties, now, particularly for exams, I probably want to view properties, and I do want to show you when I created the assignments, the list of accounts are always visible, the links to the ebook are always visible, but I don't have them show the solution until after the 3rd attempt or the answer. And here in a little bit, I'll just show you the difference between solution and answer. And so this lists all the various end of chapter assignments in chapter 1. Now, if this had been an exam, and for those of you teaching face-to-face and you'd want to give it in-class paper, you can just click on print the assignment. Obviously, you first want to print without answers. You probably do want to number the questions, and then you can come back and print with answers so you have the key. I do want to mention something here, though, is that especially for the multiple choice, for some reason, when Wiley set this up, uh, when you click on print without answers and then you go back to print with answers, it often will have a different order for the multiple choice options. So if there's, question 1 has A, B, C, and D, what's actually for A, B, C, and D will be different. So just a heads up on that when you're using that test bank or that answer key. Okay, so that's a way of seeing what's in the assignment and what's set up for students. Now let's go in and actually preview assignments. So where's my chapter 2 assignment? So if I want to go in and look at it. So here are things in it. And by the way, here's a part level submission. Whenever there's a homework assignment that can be done in steps, I always assigned it that way. Okay, so here they're having to write out an income statement. So, students fill in all of this. Notice a link list of accounts. So that will pop up for students if they can't remember an account name. It'll link to the text, the ebook. So it'll take them back. But it's not real narrow. Notice that's a lot of pages. And then also there may be a video that'll show them how to work this problem, and they can click on that. Now, they will have 3 opportunities to submit Part A. If they don't get that right, then WileyPlus will give them the answers for this, and then they can go on to A2, where they actually have to complete retained earnings. And, because if they don't get net income correct, they're not going to get the retained earnings statement correct. So, and then the same thing, that has to be accurate, or it will provide them the answers so they can do the balance sheet and get the retained earnings correct. Okay, and then you can just, look at all of the assignments and have the answers there. All right, let's go back. So here we are at home again. I do want to point out we now have the student view for WileyPlus. So we can see, I'm going to go to one of my sections. We can see what the students see. So they have Read, Study, and Practice, which links to the ebook and other study tools, assignments, and gradebook. We currently aren't using this Orion for now. And so they can go in. My class already has 16 assignments, and they can see those there. So if you did want to work an assignment in class with students, you might probably would want to use this view, and you can go through, and work through that with students step by step. Okay, and I can go back by clicking on going to instructor view. WileyPlus also has a gradebook, so your section should automatically be here. If I want to see how they did on Chapter 1, I'm actually going to list all because I have more than 10 students, and I would click on Search. When I do that, the whole list of students will show up. I'm not going to show you that because that would be invading their privacy. But what will happen when I click on Search, all the students' names will show up. If I'm only listing Chapter 1 assignment, then only Chapter 1 assignment will be listed, and it'll have their scores. Now, if I want to look at particular students, I can do that one by one, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a sec. Okay, so what happened is my list of students came up. I actually was listed as one of them. So I went through and just clicked on my name, Linda Bell, and this screen popped up. So here's my Chapter 1 assignment, and I did really poor on it. I only got 0.1 out of 15 points. So if I want to see, looks like I had 3 attempts in this exercise 3, and I didn't do everything else. So, if I wanted to see, what had this student done, I can go in here, and of course, green is what's right, red is what is incorrect. And if I want to edit this score, maybe give this student 9 points, maximum is 1, I could do that and actually change their score from 0.9 or 0.1 to 1 as well on that. Okay, let's get out of here. So I'm going to click on the Xbox. Okay, the other things, if I wanted to extend a due date, now I wouldn't extend this due date now because recall, students have access to the solutions after the due date. So Chapter 1 assignment has already been due for my students, so I wouldn't want to extend it for any of them now because they have their answers. But if it hadn't been due, I could extend, maybe give to the student to the weekend and, set maybe at, noon. Well, I guess I would need that at noon, and I could update that and allow them to more time to work on the assignment. Now, the other possibility, I don't usually need to reset for homework assignments, but sometimes for exams. Students can have technology problems, and if they do have technology problems, um, and they don't get the test submitted, I can reset the exam for them. So I can go in here and reset it. Now watch, notice I had some points here, but if I reset it, it really wipes out everything. So now this cleaned out all the submissions the student had for that assignment, if it had been an exam. So you do want to be cautious and make sure the student's aware when you reset an exam, you really are deleting the old one and they start anew. And then just one last reminder, whatever this grade, chapter 1 had 15 points, whatever the score is, at this point we are manually putting that in the Canvas gradebook. But soon it will be connected so that it just automatically will pop up in the Canvas gradebook and we don't have to actually record it ourselves. But for now we do. Okay, now we're back in home of WileyPlus. So again, the big three, read, study, and practice assignments and gradebook. Those are the three you're really going might use. Definitely assignments and gradebook. You may want to refer students to read, study, and practice. They can filter. This is chapter 1, but they can click on any of these to get any chapter and appendix of the book. Here is the ebook. It's okay. I mean, it's something, but it's in sections. So they have to click on each section of chapter 1 to read through it. So again, that $50 option with WileyPlus is just a great opportunity for our students. So, okay, so there's the ebook. We don't do the Orion stuff yet. Here's a video, so by the author, just the chapter opener. Here's all the tutorials. Keep in mind some of those tutorials are connected with the homework problem as well. There are videos here. Here's the PowerPoints. So we don't post those in Canvas because students can access the PowerPoints here. Crossword puzzles just for fun. Here's flashcards, no sense in you making those. Here's an audio review if they want to listen to it in the car, sort of thing. Here's more videos. These actually are connected with certain exercises and problems. Just heads up though, this does not mean that this video pertains to exercise 1. It's just the first video well, hang on a minute. Maybe it does. I may be confusing it with another textbook. So anyhow, those are connected to homework assignments. Same thing with these applied skills. Here's basic math skills. If you have students having issues knowing how to round and that sort of thing, you can refer them to that. Additional resources, probably not going to use a whole lot of that. And then, again, here's just other things that I really have not included in the course. The only thing I want to mention here, if you're teaching intermediate accounting and with the KESO textbook, and this additional resources is a student study guide, I would really encourage you to have students take a look at that because that's very helpful when it comes to studying for tests, especially because at the end of the study guide, each chapter, there are practice exercises and practice problems with solutions. There's multiple choice questions. So it's set up like an exam with answers, and the answers also tell them, if it's multiple choice, it'll tell them why A would be the better answer instead of B, C, and D. So again, if you're teaching intermediate, I'd encourage you to check out that student study guide. Okay, and again, here's technical support. Students have this as well. So you can click there. You can, try to filter topics down, or you can do a chat with somebody live. They have 24-hour service that way. But as instructors, we also have a phone number, and I'm going to show you that here in just a sec. Let's go back. I want to get back into Canvas. So in Canvas, a couple things that I want to show you. You probably already know how to use your gradebook, make announcements. The other thing I want to bring to your attention is click on Files. For instructors, there's course files, these faculty-only files. The course developer notes are in there. That's going to be very helpful to you. Again, I wrote those before WileyPlus changed their format, but again, the idea of a common syllabus, exams, information. Now, here's WileyPlus resources. There is a Wiley link for instructor materials. This is not WileyPlus. This is just if you're using a Wiley textbook and you want instructor resources, like the solutions manual and uh, I don't know about, I guess, tests, trying to think of PowerPoints, all of that, you can go here. Also, and providing you, here's the input information to access that. The other thing is instructor hotline for Wiley Plus. So here's a phone number that you can call any time of the day, and somebody should answer the phone and be able to assist you. So if you forget, how to, make your assignment and that sort of thing. All right, and then, also I have kind of a Q&A, basic information about, so this is going to tell you the setup for the chapter assignments. Again, I had showed you that before, that they get 3 attempts and everything's visible. And also for the exams, everything's visible, but obviously I don't show solutions and I don't show answer. By the way, solutions, the answer is, so if it was a balance sheet, the answer would be the actual balance sheet. Solutions would be if you had to calculate a number, the solutions is the calculation. So quantitative assignments will have both answers and solutions. If there's not any much quantitative calculations, it'll only be a show answer. So there's that. So again, this shows you how it's all set up. 75 minutes for exams as well. And here are, typical questions that I've been asked, typically get asked about WileyPlus are in there. So you may want to, or not may, please check that out. If you want to know the specific assignments I made in WileyPlus, here's a document, again, that gives you the overview. But if you want to know what's actually in WileyPlus, I've listed those out. I scrolled really fast, but here's Chapter 4. Here's the recommended videos. By the way, when I was in WileyPlus, I didn't show you, there actually is a Chapter 4 recommended video assignment. It's an optional assignment, so there's no points assigned connected with it. So you want to search for that, Chapter 4 recommended videos. But for the actual course points, here's the Chapter 4 assignment. So we do make available videos for our students. I've gone through and filtered out, what applies to all of this, and these are the ones that apply to this homework. And so making those available for students. So, but anyhow, if you want to see that, but you can also see it in WileyPlus. Close out of here. And also all sorts of information as well, information about what you need to do to, if you're teaching a term where there is assessment, what you need to do. Other course files actually is not anything you need to deal with. Sorry about that. Exam reviews, so those are things for, if you are teaching in class, face-to-face, you may want to hand these out. Faculty-only files, we've kind of gone over those. Student materials, sorry, you know what? These are notes that I put in. This isn't standard in the course. These are things that I use for my Parkville class. And then exams, and these are locked. Notice there are 2 versions of each unit exam. And also there is not, the final exam is not in here because the final exam is set up using question pools in WileyPlus. So if you want a printed version of the final exam, you'll need to go to WileyPlus in the way that I showed you how to print an assignment and print the final exam. But for unit exams, I did have some exams that I had typed up previously with solutions.